What's going on? How's everybody doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever this might find you on this fine Saturday, 8 a.m. Central Time U.S. God, we got a lot of early risers. What the heck? I just don't get it. Don't get it. What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? Hoos was the first one on the Pacific Coast. Is that right? Laramie, good to see ya. Shambot, morning. Flint, morning. Coffee must be a brewing. Joe, good to see ya. All right. Ty, morning. I hate my allergies today. My head is full of snot. Snot is running down Ty's nose. Dun, dun, dun. Tad, good to see ya. Matt. All right. Yeah, man. Orange is the new black. Harrigan, morning. Rainy and gloomy. Yeah, we got rainy and gloomy too, I think. Last night we did. Yesterday afternoon. It's funny because let's talk about the weather, shall we? Because that's what we do in the Midwest. It's very Midwestern, so I have to, for those that, aren't here, maybe a little indoctrination, if you will. Last night I took out my dogs at like 10 o'clock. It was warmer at 10 o'clock here than it had been warmer in the last 5 days, 7 days. It's kind of weird, but it was wet. What's going on, Orcus Dorcas? So we're supposed to get pretty warm, and then like from 3 this afternoon until, I don't know, late into the night, it's going to rain. So I think that's our forecast. That's our forecast. Back to you, Bill. It's going to be, now it's like that weird season, right? Yeah, tornadoes, like Ryan mentioned. Some weird temperatures and stuff. What's up, Blake? Blake's RPG zone. You're in the zone. Blake's RPG zone. Tull. Indeed, Joe. Cross-eyed Mary. What if you rolled over? You were in bed with cross-eyed Mary, and she had locomotive breath. DJ actually said that to me when I called in for a request. Anyways, good to see everybody. Things are good, right? And if they're not good, they can only get better. That's my guess. I'm just kind of throwing it out there. 245 trioxin. Take two of these 4 times a day for 5 months. Trioxin. It's good to see you, Gabe. Good to see you. Motor breath. That's how I live my life. Locomotive breath, but motor breath is Laramie. Got it. Let's get into things, all right? So, what RPG? Question of the day. What RPG has the most inspiring interior art? What RPG, whether you enjoy it or not, has the most inspiring interior art? Do 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 bum bum. As everybody's looking at their shelf behind them as they sit. Whoops. Ryan West chimes in first. Ryan West. Bing, 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 bing. Ryan West. Easy. Numenera. Thank you, Ryan West. There is no right or wrong answer. 500 points to Ryan for being the first one to chime in. Congratulations, Ryan. Define inspiring. I don't have to define anything, Hoos. You define inspiring. I guess if it matches a theme, a tone that you like, I don't know. It makes you want to play RPGs. Makes you want to play that game. It's very cool. It's very cool, man. Very, very cool. Shambot says The Wild Sea. Blake RPG's Zone. Dragonbane. Made a poster out of it. Nice. Ultraviolet Grasslands. Not to be confused with Ultraviolet Gaslands. Says Mr. White 20. Good to see you, Mr. White. Things are cranking now. I gotta slow down my chat, man. Orcus says DCC. Wait, Simbaroom. Wait, DCC. Wait. Yeah, good choices there. Good choices there. Tad says it's a tie for me. Simbaroom and Ultraviolet Grasslands. Morning reading, eh? Good to see ya. The question du jour is RPG with the most inspiring to you interior art. Joe says, for me, was Vampire the Masquerade as a whole. AD&D 2E, PHB was inspiring to me. Shadowdark is decent as I flip through it, too. Wayne, did you catch that? Macatron, 1,000-year-old vampire. Oh, there you go. Victor Wyatt, good to see you, morning. Morning to you also, Wayne, if I didn't say good morning, even though it was like 2 seconds ago. That's how long my memory lasts now. Victor says, underground. I don't know if I even know about underground, actually. Shambot says, Dragonbane and Ultraviolet Grasslands are close seconds. Well, Ultraviolet Grasslands is getting some press today. Well, that's good, I guess. It's a tough one for me. I've got a couple, but I don't know if I want to put it out there just yet. Ty says, best art is Genesis because it is not complete art. The unfinished leaves it to the imagination. I like that. I like that rationale, Ty. Orcus Dorcas. It's a duck in a bikini poster, but it still counts. Probably referring to Blake's RPG Zone of Dragonbane poster. $245 trioxin. 245 trioxin. Shadow of the Demon Lord. That'll get you into the mood for that game. That'll inspire you for some dirt, vomit. There's an obvious one I'm surprised nobody has said yet. I'm waiting for Harrigan probably to come in with it. Wayne says Jarune or Jarune. Jorune. Or Jorune. Or Joru N. Ni. Man, I do not envy any person having to learn English, including yours truly. Flint says Shadowdark is my current inspiration. You're my current inspiration. That's right. You didn't think you'd get song this morning, but, if you have those lovely dependents, significant others in your room, be sure to take off those headsets, unplug them, turn up the volume, let them enjoy this as well. Who says Hearn? That's Harn with the little triangle thingy above the A. I don't know what the triangle thingy's called. Help me out, somebody. What's the triangle thingy? It's not an umlaut. Jeremy says, I feel like fantasy was a genre I grew up with, so Cyberpunk 2020, the art was needed to help me envision it. No? All right. Ryan says, also a lot of interior art in World of Darkness books was pretty evocative. Harrigan, many good ones mentioned already. Simbaroom and Underground are tops for me. Nice pulls, Orcus, and Victor. I'm still seeing a genre that hasn't been brought up. But, I don't even know if it's a genre. A definite product line, if you will, that hasn't been mentioned. That's Orcus Dorcas's RPG shenanigans. Underground, the most 90s RPG cover of the 90s. Is it like neon pink? Like a weird grid going towards it? That might be the 80s, actually. Tyler, good to see you. Morning. Back in the day, the AD&D DMG, now Hollow Earth Expedition has some amazing pulp art. Probably also Vaesen or Dragonmane. Wayne says, Ultraviolet Grasslands for RPG, released in this century. Whoa, in this century. Laramie says, my answer for everything will now be Underground. It's the ultimate hipster answer. What's your favorite book? Underground. It's small print. You've probably never heard of it. Make sure you grow your beard and carry around a 6-pack of PBR. Love you, hipsters. That's not very nice. That's not very nice. Hey, wait a minute. That's me. Reading a Simbaroom for sure. Surprised no one has mentioned Merkborg. There it is. Merkborg. Merkborg, Cyberg, Hartberg, Bergborg, Megaborg, Borg. Yeah, there you go. Joe knows. You're waiting for Merkborg. Yeah, tried. Don't have my shelf nearby. No idea, Sean. See? There again, man. Come on, dude. Counting on you. Blake says Vampire the Masquerade 1st and 2nd did have some wicked art. Wicked art. I could hear that saying. I could hear Blake saying that in his Boston accent. William, good morning. For those joining us, question du jour is, what RPG has the most inspiring interior art? Not exterior, interior. Victor says Ray Winnegar's Underground came out in 93. It's got a strong anti-Reagan-esque post-war vibe to it. What's Ray up to now? What's he doing? I think he wrote the foreword for one of Delta Green's books. I think Merles did. Merles did, and I think Ray did. Ty says Hanker Infernal. Sorry if I misspelled ICRPG at its close second. Wayne says, what am I thinking? Listen. I mean, you did say it in a video, the art. It's okay. There's a lot. I don't expect everybody to have this all cataloged and ranked, by the way. Put you on the spot. And then I played the Jeopardy tune, so it just increased the tension much more. The Genesis has some stunning art. Man, no question. No question. Like, that, is that even available anymore? I think it was on a die roll once that they were, or maybe it was on a morning thing where it was like, or Saturday thing where it was like, I think they stopped making that RPG. They just gave it away. Crazy. It is. It's the layout and the art in that book is something else. Ryan says Shadows of Esterin had artwork I really like. Harrigan, there he goes. Pirate Berg is amazing too. Oh, excuse me. Good morning. What's the question? Circumflex is the thingy. Are you taking requests? My wife and I's song is After All, Peter Cetera and Cher. Do I know that song? I have Careless Whisper in my brain this morning. That saxophone. Just whenever you want to get your swerve on, you crank that song, let me tell you. Ryan, you know the deal. A mark placed over a vowel in some languages to indicate contradiction, length, or pitch or tone. Interesting. They don't have a name for the mark? See, you'd be I mean, yes, that is Delta Green for sure. But I don't know, man. Dude, the Handler's Guide, I'm not a fan. Dude, I don't want to see a Cardassian on the cover of my Delta Green book. It's the Cardassian Commander. Love you, Dennis. I have to say that because if I don't say that, Dennis will hunt me down and eat me. Ryan says, I want what Sean just did for my phone ringer. Well, if you snip it, you can get software that will capture your audio from your computer. Then you just have to transfer it into the file format of a ringtone. You're welcome. And you have my permission to do that. I would love nothing more to be your ringtone. That's my goal. When have you made it in life? You are used as a ringtone. Speaking of which, hey, if you like the question of the day, give us a thumbs up. If you don't, give us a thumbs down. Just make sure you subscribe. Thanks, everyone. Subscribing and giving a thumbs up and thumbs down helps me get noticed so that other people can enjoy these great live streams every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. here on my YouTube channel. Is that enough YouTuber for you? Because if it's not, Call of Cthulhu is good, but the art varies a bit too much. Fair. Hey, Sean, how many hipsters does it take to screw in a light bulb? It's a really rare number. You've probably never heard of it. Laramie Wall. Laramie Wall, everybody. Laramie Wall. Thanks, Laramie. How about that Laramie Wall? Doc Flamingo? What's going on, Doc Flamingo? I'm loving the handle. I love it. Doc Flamingo. I'd love to hear the story behind that one. Oh, that's funny. Doc Flamingo. Welcome. And if you've lurked in the past, welcome back. Thanks for chiming in. Thanks for letting us know you're here, by the way. Harry and Tales from Loop. Good one. Well, what's his name? I can't remember the artist's name. He's got the Swedish little things in his name too. The Swedish version of the umlaut, I think. All right, Ty FFG Star Wars art was in the top 5. That's a good one. I like it. That song in Sean's head explains so much. Does it? It might. It explains a lot. Maybe. A little bit. It depends on what part of the brain. It's no longer available in print. As Shambot refers to Degenesis. You can still read everything on site. Degenesis, easy on the eyes. Terrible business plan. Yeah, gave everything away. Not going to be around forever. Yes, Sean, it's circumflex. That was my previous comment. I just had a couple people in the middle before I found the definition. Oh, it is. It's called a circumflex. Oh, interesting. Numenera not getting much love. There's one person that's in Numenera right out of the bat, right? Tales from Loot, art so good it inspired an RPG. Harrigan wins the Meta Answer Trophy. It does. And it inspired an Amazon series. Legend of the Five Rings, 4th edition, says Roger Franchet Jr. Good to see you. Morning, Roger. Good to see you, man. Thanks for joining. They are called diacritical marks, Sean. Thank you, Wayne. See, now I've learned something. I have learned something today. Simon Stellenhag. Yes, thanks, Harrigan. Simon's done, I think, all of the Tales from the Flood. It's not even Tales from the Flood. It's Tales from the Loop and then something from the Flood. And then the new one that's coming. See, I'm all full of the knowledge that I can't remember the names. Eileen, good morning. Senior presentation was like, ooh, Sean's on. Hey, taking a break from the senior presentation. Are you giving it today? I thought that was yesterday. Matt, I do agree. Degenesis is so good. I have the the physical copies I was gifted at Christmas this year. Those must be awesome in physical format for sure. Jason says pen and ink category, Fiend Folio, pencil and parchment category, Warhammer Fantasy role-playing / Zweihander, realism, pre-AI tools, Dungeons and Dragons 4E. And all that. Boom. Done. Reading aid. Oh, wait. Trophy Dark, Loom and Gold. Things from the Flood and Electric State. There you go. Harrigan's telling me what Simon's art is all in. And the Electric State will be a movie, right? I mean, how awesome is it that your art is cool enough where it becomes like a movie? Not like the opposite way around. And it probably happens all... No, it doesn't happen all the time. Post AI to a category, probably Free League book. I bet Coriolis 2E will be my fave. Yeah, well, I mean, and it's the same artist that does Symbaroum, Blade Runner, Twilight 2000, Walking Dead, if I'm not mistaken. Poster presentation for the university yesterday. Today is the big one for the department. Got it. Good luck. From all of us to you. Good luck. Remember, you're on campus. Fireball. Sean, it's at the university. Yeah, just tell him it's mouthwash. The Electric State, and he also did one called The Labyrinth. Interesting. Tim, good morning. Die, Tales from the Loop, Starblazer, Adventures, Burning Empires, all games based on graphic novels. Oh, there he goes. Telling me the deets. DCC and Fantasy Flight 40K RPGs just for the sheer volume. Flint says I get the itch when I flip through any Warhammer RPG like Rogue Trader or the new Wrath and Glory. Free League just called. They want your #1 fan trophy back. Oh. Yes, D&D 4E art was consistently excellent. There's my one yearly nice comment about D&D. It's a pretty strong mouthwash. Fair, true. Oh, Death in Space was super neat. Cyborg's good too. That was another one I was going to comment on, is Cyborg. Dude, Cyborg. Thanks for playing. Let's get into some other stuff today, shall we? And I got to take Laramie stuff off the screen. Oh, here we go. Last one, Harrigan. Okay, I'm down with my shelves now. Heavy Gear, Jovian Chronicles, Red and Pleasant Land, Lancer, Salvage Union, Troubleshooters, Marvel Superheroes, Mouse Ritter. In no particular order. Top notch. Harrigan has Noble Knight. Like, he has inventory size of a Noble Knight at his house. I'm interested to know how many games Harrigan owns. I'm interested to hear about how many games you all own. I should just do that as the question next week. Don't answer that. Next week, here, little homework. Next week, how many RPGs do you own? Core book systems. If it's a single book for the entire game, then you got one. Don't answer it right now, because I know you guys got to go to the shelf and count, and then that takes you away from here. Next week. That'll be the question. How many RPGs do you own? No PDFs, physical only, which is kind of short, unless you're like Nelson. If Nelson comes on, he's kind of the heavy PDF guy. He's doing a lot of effort going to PDF. So I'll cut him some slack and let him tell us how many PDFs he has. Yeah, paper bits. Yeah, paper. Got to be paper. Hard copy. Don't. I know you guys are gonna. Not yet. Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Editions. Oh, that's a good question. I will allow it. I will allow it. Editions. Any other questions? Any other questions? You have to own them. They could be in storage. They don't have to be in your physical location, but you have to own it. It has to be printed. How many do you own? The lowest number gets a prize. I don't know. I can't say the highest number because what would be the point? It's like buying somebody who has something for somebody who has everything. It's right. Victor hit it right on the head. Hey, is anybody there? Hey, is this thing on? Anybody? Just goes blank. Nothing moves. All right. Let's get into some stuff. I don't know. I wasn't, this week's kind of meh, honestly. Kind of meh. I don't know if this is necessarily news, but I don't know if this was up there before. I just happened to go there because for those of you in the know or not in the know, it's April 27th. And my understanding was that Pendragon physical core book 6th edition would be out in April. Sean, it's April 27th, which means it's, we still have like 3 days left, right? Isn't there 30 days? Yeah. 3 days left, Sean. So I wanted to see, I know it's been Orcus Dorcas. It was at a con, right? We were talking about it on Blue Sky. So they had a copy at a con, and then even somebody there said, yes, it's going to be in distribution in April. So I went to Chaosium's site to think, well, maybe they've got it on the site and it's launched and just nobody knows about it. So I did see the story about a lady who makes $37K a year as a tabletop RPG game master. I don't know if that's like, 37 grand is not chump change by any means, but it's also like, I bet you she gets paid hourly like jack. I did see it. I didn't mark it down because I was like, well, okay. I don't know if that's like a lot or not. It is a lot for some people. Don't get me wrong. Right. But man, I just, this place, like America is not cheap to live in especially in certain places. And it's like, so it's like good, like that's pretty good for just running D&D or running an RPG. No question. But I just don't know a lot who are just doing it solo. 37K for TTRPG. You guys are sidetracking me already. 37K for TTRPG would be great if that's what you want to do with your time post-retirement. I agree. Like that would be awesome. Like I'll run, West Marches and Charge and see what I can like keep afloat on with my cool retirement and 401k. But I don't think it's enough to live on. It's very personal, of course, but you pay the taxes on that and then you pay for benefits and it's not a lot of money. Teacher pay, case in point. Great supplemental income for sure. Absolutely. Hey, I think the median household income in the U.S. is like 42. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Pendragon. So if you go to Chaosium's site, you can get like all the Chaosium, Pendragon was not always made by Chaosium. It was released by other companies and other, sources throughout the year. It's time. But all of these are PDF that you can buy. Like the first edition box set of Pendragon, $10 PDF. The game has escaped me. It's much like Call of Cthulhu, one of the big ones in the hobby, that was around for a while. I would put Pendragon and Call of Cthulhu and D&D and probably GURPS and some other ones, in those early days. And this one I never had a copy, never played. And it's touted, Greg Stafford, Pendragon, RPG design, like that's the bar. So and back in that day, I probably didn't know any of that, right? And I probably didn't care. And as we become more immersed in RPGs and podcasts and streams and all the talk, and you go, oh, really? Now it has me like, it's like Greg's great design. I need to know more, and that's kind of driving me to potentially get that. So anyways, if you're interested, it's got a lot of stuff in here. Was it one? See. 40 supplements. So as they say, since its release by Chaosium in 1985, there have been 5 editions and publications from several companies. This section includes PDFs from all earlier editions. Browse this section to see the classic versions. You can use this classic material with the current version of Pendragon found here, which I didn't see. It's just a starter set. Oh! Anybody who's picking this up? Who is like, take my money? It's as soon as I see it, it's a insta buy. The new Pendragon 6e. You guys counting your RPGs right now? Nobody? Per wiki, Pendragon first edition wasn't until 1985. Did I just say that? I thought I said that. Maybe I said that. Well, duh, says the Orcus of the Dorcas, who says I'm in on Pendragon. Okay. I'm with you, Sean, on this. Pendragon was one of those games that I always heard about in circles, but never got a chance to try it out or find. Yeah. Yeah, you know the deal, Victor. I might just have to have it. Sean, plug it. What's the hook? What set Pendragon from other games? Well, I don't know because I haven't played it. Craig interviewed who is the steward of Pendragon now? Shoot. Anyways, I don't know if he's even on this website. Sometimes they have like who about us. Oh, staff. Free stuff. No. Did I say staff? No, it's stuff. Free stuff, not free staff. Anyways, I scheduled to start playing a Pendragon campaign. I'm scheduled to start playing a Pendragon campaign. When's that, Hobbs? So did we in Titterpigs. That's right. Orcus Dorcas did do it. Yep, go there instead. Go to Titterpigs, RPG Podcast, listen to Orcus Dorcas. You'll hear what his voice sounds like. Tuesday next week? Just a one-shot or what? I'm not dying for it, but it's a game I'll buy. I have the starter set. Yeah. Anyways. The pitch, I guess, is just I don't know. It's the design, and I'm sure it's the design in what it facilitates as a campaign. Like, if you want King Arthur, the Round Table, knights, heraldry, chivalry, like, and I think it spans lifetimes and generations. So it is a different type of game. And I think there is things that play off of each other, right? Like honor and dishonor. Probably not dishonor, but that would be too easy. It's probably like something else, right? Wayne says Pendragon Firsts was one of the first games that mechanized character morality and personality. It was the first multi-generational RPG I ever played too. Yep. So that's some of the things. Hobbs says he's going to play 6 sessions, possibly the grand campaign. Got it. I think it's David. Is it David Larkin? I think it's David Larkin, right? Generally heralded as one of the greatest RPGs of all time and Stafford's best work. Right. So Laramie's wanting me to probably comment on why that is the case, and I'm not quite sure. Like, some of the things have been stated, like what Wayne said. Sounds like it was one of the first games to curate a particular experience. Yes, I would, yes. Laramie, it's a bit too much to post in the limitations in chat. I'll drop you a message in Discord. Orcus, thank you for doing that. Just not into the chivalry stuff. Needs more wizards. Yeah, well, they got Merlin, right? But anyways, there you go. Pendragon. TikTok. I don't know if I'll pick it up. If you would have asked me 3 months ago, I would have been like, yeah, absolutely. That's on my list to buy. You know, but now, dude, when am I going to get it to the table? I got a whole table over here waiting to get on eBay. Loving treatment of the setting as well. Yeah. You got to like the Arthurian legend to play Pendragon, really. I mean, it's kind of the deal. And everything about it. Excalibur. Green Knight. The Holy Grail. Tell us about this table I'm selling on eBay. You don't need, well, it's a table full of books. But a whole table over there of RPGs. Did I stop? I didn't complete my sentence, did I? Shocker. Over time, you'll see this like video degrade. You'll be like, damn, look at Sean. He's really gone downhill. The slow descent into madness. Hobbs says, I played a one-shot on Dungeon Musings a few years ago. It was interesting with the mechanical shifts and character attributes. I'm wondering how well it will really go over because I don't see knightly virtues in being hip. And being hip. Yeah? Yeah. I know what he's getting at. Anyways, let's go. What's up? All right. My goal is to get this song into your brain before the end of the stream. Roll 20. Roll 20. Would like notifications. No thanks. We'll cut out the alt-tabbing middleman and let you run your D&D TTRPG games directly in Discord, which you are probably using for voice chat anyway. I saw this on a couple, including our Discord. There was a comment like alt-tabbing. We all know, most of us know what alt-tabbing is. I have to agree. I don't like, is it because just a person has one monitor and in order to go from one to the other, they use their alt-tab from Discord to Roll20? I don't know. Just put your windows next to each other or something. I don't know. Shocker. Like, yeah, you're like, it even says, which you were probably using for voice chat anyway. Why? Because Roll20's voice and video sucked. They probably gave up. They're throwing in the towel. Oh, we can't get this thing to work really well. Blah. Gonna be for subscribers probably only. So your free days are ticking, you common users. It'll be interesting on how it's implemented. And frankly, if it's going to make Roll20 better, great. If you play D&D online, there's a chance you use or have used Roll20. While it's far from the most versatile or powerful virtual tabletop, hey, shots fired, on the market, it's both free and straightforward enough to use that I feel its popularity is deserved. I mean, it is probably the most popular VTT, honestly. It's been around the longest, so. Anyways, there you go. If you want to learn that, can't wait to see it, even though I probably won't see it because I'm not a paid member anymore. I don't know. Maybe it is so super uber awesome. I get converted back. Oh, wow. That link is so long, I can't paste it in the chat. That is, wow. Talk about trying to SEO their way into like some search. Oof. That's, I guess I can shrink it. Oh, man. I'm not going to. Anyways, go and check it at PC Gamer, I guess. There's a link in the Discord. Go there. Apparently, I can't paste it in the chat. That's pretty obnoxious. Ah, itch. Warming up the West March's voice. Yeah, man. Whoops. Don't screen size shame. Don't screen size shame, Sean. No, it's not shaming. You could have like a 27-inch and still a 19-inch. You could have a 15-inch and still have them next to each other. But you should really buy two and get something bigger. It's the American way. So, you want to be anti-American. Because America is about screen size. I think outside of our community, Roll20 must get the most of all VTTs. I would agree with that, Gabe. Just based on the sheer numbers that the OR report used to put out, right? All right, let's see. What else? Something, I'm always biased picking out stuff I like. See, Eileen says absolutely 2 monitors is the way to go for her. See. Tabletop Forge. Kickstarted that sucker. Right over to frickin' Roll20 as they shut it down. I don't even remember if it was that good. If you're a Midnight fan of the setting, which was put out by Fantasy Flight Games, first edition was for 3.0 or 3.5, and then it had a second edition that implemented some things like a couple supplements into the core books, Midnight second edition, and then for years, nothing. Then they came out, how was it, maybe 2 years ago? The new version from, which is now Edge Studio, which is the RPG of Fantasy Flight Games, under the Asmodee umbrella, which is under the Embracer Group umbrella. So Edge Studios does Legend of the Five Rings, the Twilight Imperium RPG, Midnight, Star Wars, and Genesis. I think I got all of them. So Midnight, they came out with Midnight, the RPG newest version. It's basically compatible with 5e. I have that. I bought it. And then they came out with the DM screen, and now they're coming out with Crown of Shadow. So it's a campaign that takes you starts out at second and third level characters. Interesting choice. Don't see that happen too often in one of the bigger books. I guess maybe you do. I don't know. I don't see it that often. It's usually like first to 10, 1 to 10, 1 to 5, whatever. I don't know. This one goes from second or third and advancing as high as 8th. So there you go. If you are not a fan of Midnight, then you probably will not care. If you're like, what's Midnight? Then you'll probably want to go and just find out what it's about. It's very much a world where Sauron wins the War of the Ring. And he lives on the material plane because he's been cast out of the heavens. And they have him basically in prison. He's trying to gather all the magic so he can harness the power to go back. Something along those lines. Yeah. Now you know Hobbs. Is there a starter scenario in the Midnight Core book that may bring you to level 2? That's true. That's true. I think it does. And I can't remember if the GM screen does. Might have a scenario in there too. I'm not sure. I did not buy the GM screen. But anyways, it's an interesting setting. It's always appealed to me. I've never played it. I have some of the first edition stuff. And I think I don't know if I have the second edition. The first edition I think I gave to Brett. Because I had the second edition, which was almost exactly the same, just a little thicker. But I always thought, ooh, this would be an interesting game to run. But because the races in the setting create interesting dynamics. You know, if you were to play an elf in on the party, like elves are like the first, like the biggest enemy of the shadow. And so when elves are found in the world, you're enemy number one. So if you have an elf in your party, how does that like, and there's villages that like, hey man, we don't want that person in our village because it's going to attract the baddies. We don't want the baddies coming in and then they turn on the party, or maybe there's a double agent or an agent of the shadow that rats those out and creates a dynamic. So it's kind of an interesting, like I've always thought like, how would this roll in a campaign long term? I think it would be fun, but it's probably not, like you're always getting beaten down because you're in a world of evil. Elves are equivalent of orcs in normal games. Sounds like a good West Marches setting. It could be. Who knows? Starting in a village, everything's fine. You're in your own little hamlet. Shit hits the fan. All right, so that's all I had for really news. I mean, news, whatever. I'm sure there's stuff out there. You know. But regardless. Oh, let's do this. Print news. This is what's going on in print. I didn't do anything last week through all this, so I didn't bring last week's into this, so I probably skipped a week. There's stuff that's out there. Yeah, that's to Harrigan's point. Dude, there we go. Midnight's a great setting, but very much about oppression, secret rebellion, and resistance. Yeah, that's exactly right. Which is strange because, Sean, hey, you play Age of Rebellion, don't you? Well, yeah, I guess. Star Wars, big world, universe. You know, get out on the core worlds. I guess I could do that in Midnight, right? Anyways. Print news. EN World, you. What's coming out? What's out? What's the skinny? You guys got your mothership? Speaking of print news, print versions of Mothership are showing up at places randomly. It's like the Willy Wonka golden ticket out there. Open up that box on your doorstep. It could be Mothership. Yeah, well, okay, whatever. First one, speaking of which, hey, nice transition, Sean. Well done. The SysTR, or Starborn Invasion System Turret Regenerator, or SysTR, a rare geometry, or SysTR Mothership RPG operating manual by Exalted Funeral. So it's system neutral or Mothership. A rare geometry, that's a book, it looks like. One's a box. Maybe they're a combination. Anyways, 35, 35, and 6. So the Starborn Invasion Regenerate comes with a 16-page full-color zine, a 50-millimeter etched resin cube, or what I like to just call a die. I don't know. And then 4 25mm turret etched resin cubes. That's funny. Anyways, if you're interested in Mothership, there you go. So I bet you these things are just going to be coming out of the woodwork. And then the next one is, hey, Mothership, Stone Flesh Gift. So you've been chump dumped, VR dead, Born to Lose Crew Small Party Set, Series 1 by Exalted Feudal System, Mothership. So one is an adventure zine, one's a trifold pamphlet, another one's softcover adventure, and then one is wood meeple PCs. And some info there. I guess I should have looked at this. Next one. Shocker. Some more Mothership and Mutant Crawl Classics. So at the Mutants of Madness by Resonant by Space Penguin Incorporated. Softcover adventures, $20 each. Adventure design for 4th to 6th, 7th level PCs. PCs strive to recover an artifact of mighty power that will ensure the safety of their village. Yada, 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 da, yada, 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 da, da, da. Yeah, good luck, Eileen. Have fun. Have fun. Hey, just remember, have fun. Enjoy yourself. Fireball. Fireball. So Wasted Lands, not to be confused with Wastelands. Wasted Lands, the Dreaming Age RPG. Wasted Lands, the Dreaming Campaign Guide and Gazetteer of the Dreaming Age by Elflair Games. That is a pretty good size subtitle. Hardcover rulebooks, $45 each, US. That's it. That's all she wrote for print news this week from InWorld. Not affiliated with the InWorld. Just go over there and click on all their ads. Let's see if the last time I went to InWorld, I was looking at the D&D Converse shoes, and every ad around the screen was filled with Converse. It was the exact same ad. Like 4 of them. Boom, 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 boom. On a different computer, so cookies aren't on this one otherwise. Anyways. Yeah, good luck, Eileen. Good luck, Eileen. She probably hears that song too many times. But, it's not always for me. Crowdfunding. What are we going to do here? What are we going to do? What are we doing here? What are we doing here, folks? Crowdfunding. This one. That one. That's the one I want. Now. There we go. Got to do this in order, man. So again, InWorld typically puts the ones out that are in the final throes of the campaign. The final days. Field Guide to Floral Dragons from Hit Point Press. So, have you guys seen this thing? Just take a guess on what the level is. Like how much money it's raised. The level. What? Huh? Take a guess. $1, Bob. All right, fine. You guys are guessing. You guys are counting your books again. $823,000. Hey, $100,000, $2. Harrigan. $85,000. Since there's a little bit of delay, this should be timed almost exactly. Yeah, $823,000, man. Dude, 5E's Kickstarters are still going to be cranking. My prediction is 5E market may be higher than the new D&D. For how long? That'll be. Oh, of course it will, Sean, because the new D&D isn't even out yet. It's not gonna be like this big huge gold rush. Maybe it will, but yeah, there's another one that's out there too that I think hit the $1 Million Club that I wasn't aware of. I think they do work with Ghostfire Gaming. It might be here, but I don't think so because I think it's still going and it's not in the end stages. But anyways. Dragons based upon flowers. So I'm running my West Marches game. You smells like flowers. Flowers in a cave? Yeah, roses. All right, everybody, give me a save. Versus breath weapon. You're about to get hit with perfume infused breath weapon that smells like roses. Why are we counting our books? Hobbs, the question next week, should you be around to join us, honor us with your presence, would be how many RPGs do you own? Physical copies, not supplements, core books, editions count. Next. All right, next one is Battle Zoo Dragons. D&D 5th edition and Pathfinder 2nd edition. Secret Dragons. Epic new playable dragons for 5e. Gotta get some more dragons. Need more. I got the fever. The fever's for more dragons. 187,000 of a $20,000 goal. Liars and Legends do, and Loot and Lore do. From the DM Lair for 5th edition. We're back on the 5th edition train. Woot woot. $238,000. 200 on the cusp of 239,000. Wow. Oh man, Swords and Wizardry in the final days. Swords and Wizardry expansion, Monsters and More by Mythmere Games, Matt Finch and company. So most popular pledge is 115 bones for the PDF and print versions of the 4 books. Book of Options, Fiends and Folios, Fiends and Foes, not Fiends and Folio, and not to be confused with Fiend Folio. Okay? And Tomb of the Iron God and Domain of Ironguard. Plus the GM screen. 50th anniversary of D&D. The homage here. Fiends and Foes include 300 monsters. $90,000 of a $10,000 goal. Nightfell. Grim Dark fantasy setting for PF2. Grim Moon Studios. 22 euros. €37,000 of a €20,000 goal. Loki battle maps. And a calendar. Calendar of Many Adventures. That's pretty cool. $14. It's on BackerKit. Let's see where that's at, shall we? Let's not. $13K of a $500 goal. There you go. 5e and Night in the Library. A bookish adventure for D&D 5e from EM Publishing. So if it's EM Publishing, it's probably the last one on the page. 5th edition, £10 for the PDF of the adventure. 9,000 of a $1,000. Sorry, bad habit. £1,000 goal. There you go. That's crowdfunding. Did I miss any? I can't remember the $1 million one that just got funded. It'll come up probably next week. But there we go. That's crowdfunding. Lots of 5e coming back. Coming back strong. Coming back like it was ever gone. It's crazy. Can I hit the right button, folks? Flowers like giant Venus flytrap. Feed me, Seymour. Indeed. Lots of trees killed for these dragons. I really do like the new S&W title font. I do like the look. I definitely do. I got the blue book. I like it. I like the layout. I like it. I do quite a bit. I was considering S&W's Kickstarter, but I'm like, again, I know I've had at least this blue book, the latest Kickstarter for the core rules, was my second Swords and Wizardry book ever, and I don't think I've ever played the game. So yeah, buy 4 more. That'll get you to the table. Get it to the table. Still an hour left. It's not an hour left. I'm gonna make these shorter, Hobbsy. People busy. People are busy. Traffic drops off significantly. People got stuff to do, things to play, places to go, clients to visit. I do want to share one thing. Like I mentioned, I don't want to turn this into big the big West Marches game, but I do want to share one thing because and I'll probably put this on the Discord. We have like 19 characters made, right? A lot of people have done 2. You can roll up as many as you want. You can only have 2 in the campaign. If you could only play 1 per session. So infinity 2 1. That's the formula. So I had a kind of a town hall meeting, I guess. It was kind of a Q&A without any A's this past week. Thanks for everybody that joined, by the way. Plus, I haven't seen a lot of people in a while since like BS or Con and things of that nature. So sometimes just it's just a down home, hey, I'm going to be online. Everybody join. It'll be fun. So there was some things that were brought up. I took some notes, got some feedback, and, kicking this thing off. So if you're not knowing what the West Marches is about, I have sessions scheduled starting the 2nd week of May. So I'm going to try to schedule at least 2 sessions a week. I think that's manageable. And I've got a few things of interest that people could explore and investigate and things of that nature. And we've got 2 groups kind of like, I know one for sure. One is probably on the cusp of like, okay, we got everything done or down. The one thing, there's a few things I need to iron out. I'm going to have a session 0 that is scheduled, and I'm going to do it here on this channel. I have the event scheduled on our Discord, and that is going to be a session 0. I will record it because it'll be streamed, and then I'll just record it. It'll be a private link. If other people find it, that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I'm just not going to publicly list it here. So, and I'm going to go through like session 0 and everything, kind of soup to nuts. So even though the game is kind of like, I got my characters, I know the rules of writing up the character gen. Okay, the document tells me how to schedule a session and all this. There's still some gaps. So the session 0 should iron all that out. I should have most of it fairly baked. If it tastes bad after coming out of the oven, might have to tweak some of the ingredients, rebake it, try taste it again. Okay. Anyways, one of the things I wanted to bring up quickly just before, we still got a little, I'm trying to go from like 2 hours to like an hour and a half and then maybe even shorter in the future. But, if you stick with me, great. Thanks for doing that. And if you haven't hit the like button, please remember to do that. One of the things that is a thing that I've been toying around with is the journey piece. So if you want to, like West Marches does not have to be a hex crawl. A hex crawl can be a West Marches game. And so it's a matter of whether, like, how do I want to get, how much do I want to get into the actual journey of all, like an actual West Marches. So I've mentioned this before. I don't want people to go, hey, we want to go investigate the keep. Oh, for 4 hours of our session, we never got to the keep because we ran into a couple bugbears. and it took forever, and one person died, and yeah. So we want to reschedule to go to the keep again. But I don't also want to just go, okay, you set out and you're there at the entry of the keep. What do you do? So I want something to kind of bridge that a little bit. And I think the best compromise is maybe a table. Give me a couple rolls, maybe some modifiers based on that, and then the results of the table. Maybe not as much going there, but definitely coming back. Now, there's all kinds of opinions and thoughts around it. There's some people that just hand wave it. Hobbs, I think you do something about like entry into the back to the village. You pay the guard. If you pay the guard, you don't have to divulge some of the things you did, right? Something like that. I'm telling Hobbs is like not a fan. Not a fan of what? Tal Invictus, good to see you. Yeah, Fallout, that's a good one. I've not played the game, but I've started watching the series. Anyways, West Marches. So some of the things that I've come up with, that is not what you need to see. And I don't know if I can. How do I share this, man? Hold on a second. I will see if I can share my... Boom, 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 boom. I thought I could... All right. I think this will work for the most part. And it's probably small. And I think I can bring it up. There we go. A little bigger. So just some ideas that I'm putting out there, bouncing things off. So there's folks that say you go back, you're done with the dungeon, and as long as the party leaves in time and gets back in time, they're fine. So if they don't, then they're stuck in the dungeon and lost until somebody either goes and finds them, or they're just left there till the next session where they pick things back up where they are. Not a fan of that because I don't know when all the group comes back together to pick that story up and conclude it. So I think it's going to be, hey, you got to get back to town by the end of this session. And how does that work? So I have some ideas I've got, and again, it's not fully baked. I'm kind of taking some pizza pits here and pieces there. But if I came up with a table that might just make some things interesting, in this game, aside from taking a player character's life, there's a couple things you can take from them. You can take gear away from them, gold away from them. Gear could be considered magic items, like magic items. Take is kind of, it's my term. It's not, they could lose it. So anyways, some of the options like, hey, you roll really well, you return to the village, no problem, no incidents, you don't run into anything, nothing happens, everything's great. Okay. Make that, a certain percentage better than any of all the rest of the results. And then I have to rank and kind of stack this up like best to worst and all that, and then put some percentiles around it or some metrics around or odds of chances of these things happening. So another one was get back, but a random PC or PCs need to skip a session. So some of this is like very meta, and some of it is meta and in-game thing, right? So I haven't figured out what that looks like in-game. So maybe they're so wounded that they have to skip a session with that player character. You can always play their other one. A battle occurs, they suffer damage, but they get additional XP. So I don't want to always be bad, right? Because there should be good things that come back on the journey. I don't know if okay, we'll go through them. Encounter occurs, minimal damage, PC takes permanent physical scar, right? Physical scar, different gait, like they walk differently, something characteristically on the character. a member or members are lost, and they must be found or perish in XD4 sessions or whatever that is. 1D4 sessions, 1D8 sessions. So they get lost. They can't play them until somebody goes and finds them. And if they're not found in a certain amount of time, who knows what happens. Which then would create hey, go find our buddy. Stumble upon a small treasure, you get gold pieces. Stumble upon a large treasure, you get gold pieces and maybe a special item or just a special item. Something major happened. See, some of these obviously have to be somewhat baked. Something major happened, X amount of PCs lose Y amount of gear. So it's kind of across the party. Something minor happened. Maybe a smaller amount of PC loses a smaller amount of gear. Major and minor could be an encounter, could be and an encounter doesn't necessarily have to be like combat, but it could be like combat or some type of conflict, or it could be weather. Weather, it just got really bad. Therefore, camping and, things got washed away, whatever it is. Some gear got lost. Bandits, this one I have an interesting one and I'm going to implement, so I probably won't give it too much away. But bandits, you have to pay a toll, and so you sacrifice a certain percentage of gold that you have. What happens if you don't have any gold? Interesting, right? Maybe it's just that. You run into bandits. If you have gold, you sacrifice X amount. If you don't have that amount, then you come back pantsless. I don't know. Next one is party delayed by X amount of days. Plays a part in what PCs can be used in next session. So, or what PC can be used in the next session. So maybe time-wise, you're delayed, weather, lost, whatever. So you don't get lost, and people don't have to find you. It just takes you longer to get back to town. But how does that, it just takes us longer to get back to town. I could, in the calendar, keep track of that and just, will that impact the ability of a player to play that character in a session? Maybe. I haven't looked at your guys' feedback yet, but continuing on. Worst case scenario, bad weather plus encounter plus rotting food or whatever equals entire party is lost. So the small percentage where you're all lost and you're not going to get back until somebody goes out and finds your party. Yeah. You're the Argentinian soccer team on the mountain. And then one of the last ones is something traumatic occurs. Player is affected by some type of mental trauma. Claustrophobic, paranoia, kleptomania, I don't know, sociopathic. Something in that space. Something is, jarred them where it's changed who they are originally. So there you go. So, in some of these, it's death. You roll, and if you don't make it, you die. Some people aren't going to appreciate that. And that's fine. You could do things that make it more interesting and dynamic. Let me just grab some of the things that you've said and see here. see. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, I'm getting there. Classic. Hobbs says that's classic West Marches. Now I'm at the beginning where it starts. And he probably said it when I started. So I'll keep going. Maybe you can elaborate, Hobbs, on what part I was talking about at the time. Yes, Tithe guards. Must hex crawl. He's talking about his. I've talked to Hobbs and recorded it. I just have to gotta put out a video about his hex crawl that he does. Kalmara. Tithe the guards. Must hex crawl. Yeah. Sometimes to save time, I'll allow free trip back to safe home, but no carousing. Well, that's another thing too. I could implement carousing or whatever. So I'm thinking like there's only a couple obviously in this whole bunch that's like, oh, you get gold. Oh, you get this. I'm also talking about XP. So you could potentially lose gold, but earn XP, right? Not a huge amount, but it is what could happen on the way back? Well, they're going to run into a wandering monster. Okay, they're going to have to fight it. What's going to happen during that fight? Well, they're probably going to kill it. Could be a TPK. And if they kill it, they'll get XP and maybe there's some treasure. So that is what I'm just trying to you don't do it, but you get the end results. I think that's like, who's going to roll? Let's roll, baby. And then it's like, oh, something to make travel a little meaty and not so hand wavy as it was stated in the Discord. Yeah. Are you doing one for one time? So what Hobbs is asking is, am I going to keep track of, right? My understanding for one time is like you're in real time. If you play a session and 4 days go by before the next session, 4 days go by in the game. Maybe. The only argument against that is when you have like a holiday or, you have something plotted against the town or you're planning an assassination plot on this particular day. And if the players don't play, well, then what happens? Which I thought was kind of, I don't think it was dumb, but it's not West Marches, in my humble opinion. Like when you start doing things in the town and their dates. So I can see one for one time not working when you're doing that, but that's not what I'm going for. So I could do one for one time. It's going to probably make the most sense. And the only problem is, if they go out and it takes them amount of time to travel to a location, that's not going to be one for one time. It's not going to take, like if we do one session, that's 4 hours. Of course, we could say it's one full day. But they could travel 2 or 3 days. And this journey piece may play a role in getting to somewhere. And I may modify it where if they're going there and they haven't explored the hex, then there are penalties and some likelihood of something bad happening, where on the way back, it's less likely because you're probably backtracking through the same hexes. So I want to give modifiers for it to be no problem. It's kind of like Forbidden Lands, where if you go into a hex and you haven't explored it, you gotta make a find a way roll, a Pathfinder roll, and that can do things. If you're going through a hex you've explored, there is no roll. It's assuming you've picked up your own path and gone that way. So that makes sense. It's Invictus. Yes, roll 1d2 for TPK. Does Shadowdark have saving throws? Yes. Nope. I don't know. Ability checks. It's ability checks. Hobbs. Legendary Kalmata. Tad says I like all this. Yeah. Harrigan, stat or attribute checks, though. That's when he's talking about saves. Orcus says, I thought XP for Shadowdark was strictly what you've pulled from the dungeon. Well, that could be, but hey, it's my game, so suck it. Well, actually, I think Shadowdark's you can only get XP from the dungeon. You don't get it from anything else. It says in rules. Yeah, some love there. See some hearts flying. Yeah, you know the deal. Dude, Shadowdark, this is the thing, though. If you guys tell me, is there a West Marches game? This is what I'm going to prove. I'm going to prove Orcus Dorcas here. Is there a West Marches game? You play this game, it's West Marches. Forbidden Lands could be really close because it is exploration and survival. But is that West Marches? Because I would argue that all these games are not going to be, they could be used for West Marches, but they are not built for West Marches. Five Torches Deep, maybe. Because I know Harrigan mentioned like the designer really wanted to get into that piece and that space. So there's specific rules that cater to that. My point is, if I take a game like OSE, Shadowdark, BX, frickin', BECME, insert whatever game that I use, 5e, there's going to be things that in there that's like, well, that's not going to work. Or by default, isn't the rules say this? But that's for something else. That's why you gotta kind of West March the thing. You gotta have some things that deal with what your campaign is about. I know I'm talking to you guys, and I know you guys are smart and you know this, but that's the XP and Shadowdark for the dungeon. I could. That's the deal. And I would probably put that in the house rule piece. Like, hey, just so you know. Combat result emulator. There you go. Exactly. Implement those checks to possibly mitigate this table results. Yes, I could, for sure. I was thinking like, well, it's either going to be like a percentile or it's going to be a D20 roll, and then it's going to be broken down into different slots. Like, 1 to 5 is you get back no problem. 6 to 7, it's this. 8 to 8 is this. 20 is, you're out until somebody finds you. Like, of course I'm going to scale it. But I can also add modifiers or consider modifiers. So what level are you? How does that play into it? What level is the group? What level is the individual? Have they, yada, yada, yada. Like you have a special item, you get an extra boost. Like it'd be cool to add, like I think Torchbearer does this a little bit where it's like 1 die, 2 die, 3 die, 4 die. And then you roll, I think. Anything can be the dungeon, right? Mileage may vary. Yes, agree, Hobbs. Base severity of specific results on those saves, yes. In some cases, at least. Town should be safe. That's a no-brainer, yeah. Yes, the town should be safe. He's talking about, like, some places. Like, I've read some of these West Marches games, and I'm like, you can run it any damn way you want. There's no gaming police. But I would say in the spirit of and at the core of West Marches, there are certain principles. And one of them is nothing happens in the village. But can you say I'm a West Marches game and I have stuff happen in the village? Yes. As a matter of fact, you could do a West Marches game in an urban setting if you want. And then make the inn or your hideout to be safe. But that whole time thing was like, and somebody put that blogger into check. Like well, here's your problem. You're not playing West Marches. You're doing it this way. And that's why it's a problem with your one-on-one timing thing. Exploration. Not shopping town, hoping something happens. For sure. Foraging the path versus following the trail. Yeah. Yep. Shambot. That made my day. I know Orcus Dorcas, so I could do that. If I picked anybody else out who I don't know, I wouldn't make fun of them. I love the idea of different players groups having different maps of the area, and for some of those maps to be inaccurate. Yeah, I've got that thing to do too, because like Willow's like, hey, so yeah, is there an overland map? And I'm like, yeah, about that. So I have a big hex map, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do like, here it is. And like, there was one idea where it was take a hex and then split it up into 4 or 6 spaces in the hex. I mean, 6 miles, you could probably put, there's a swamp right here, and over here's a little woods, and over here's a little pasture, and over here's this. That's a 6-mile hex, right? An area. Could fit a lot in there. And then, your whole area starts out as like, I think I'm starting way too big. I need to just shrink it down. Like, hey, there's mountains in the distance. Well, how far are those mountains? They're way over there. You can see them though. You can see them. They're way over there. Like anybody in Colorado's like, dude, we're in like, I don't even know when you see the mountains in Colorado, like Nebraska. It's like, what? So I got to just get out of my own head. I don't have to fully bake the map. I just got to here's the town. Here's where you're going to go. It's this amount of distance, and then just grow it out from there. I am trying to get the whole map and then put it in front of people, and they could look at the whole thing. Bad idea. Oh. Gabe says, Forbidden Lands is not West Marches. No, it's not by default, I would say. You're right. 5TD was all, yes, what Sean is saying, built for it. Yeah, I started looking at it. I'm still not keen on exactly how they handle it, but it is inspiration, right? Thanks for pointing that out, Harrigan. I completely, wholly attribute Harrigan for saying, hey, you should check this out. Or the return rules for 5 Torches Deep. Whoa. No D20, no D100. 3D6, he says. I gotta put something in there, just like one or two things Harrigan's gonna have a problem with. Ty says alignment? Really? What's that for, Ty? You will crush people with your extreme table results otherwise. I do have to make it very it's a very minuscule part that these really bad things happen. I don't think they're all bad though. Like, okay, I took damage. My arm, do I take an arm off? Scar on the face. You have a prominent scar. You have a prominent ailment. It doesn't affect your character. It just creates flavor. And some people blow that off. Some people will totally run with that. And I want good. I do want good. Like, yay, we got more gold. Woo! And what'd you do? Just went back to town. Yay! Help the gaming police are at my... Help! That should be help! Exclamation point. The gaming police are at my house and arrested me for house ruling only 2d6 for stats. Well, you should be arrested for that. Sean needs a new shirt. You can play however way you want, so suck it. Dude, indeed. Play your game out. Play whatever game you want. The way you want. Make the player's map. Make the player's map. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's another thing too, is who's documenting all this? And do I give them an incentive to do it? And that was another point. Harrigan, you weren't there. And that was another thing I brought up is I either have to journal all this for every session. And somebody would say, well, just have a player do it. A lot of players may not want to. Well, just give them something for it then. And then it's Hobbs and I were talking about doing it in the game, the organizer who kind of musters everybody, make them the caller. So I did that. Thank you, Hobbs. And you're kind of the leader of, you could defer, but I just need somebody to rally the troops. And if they rally the party, I'll give them, and I also want to be very clear. The caller is not dictator. I put that in the rules. If there's a tiebreaker, does it mean somebody can't go off in a different direction? Of course not. It's just a little, there you go, a little something. Here come the RPG police. They have come to arrest your role-playing niece. Thought alignment was tossed out a long time ago out of games. Ty, you would be mistaken. You can see Rockies from 3 to 5 hexes away. That would be approximately 18 to 30 miles, folks. Gabe says, I could see West Marches where you have more than one town because you don't need to get to an adventure site and back in a single session. Question mark. I'm not opposed to that. And one of the things that could happen, and relatively quick, actually, because I think Jim is going to is it? No, not Jim. Shoot. Hoos's group is going to go to the keep. No, the catacombs. Oh, shit. I think Jim wants to go to the keep. I mean, okay. You're at the keep, and now that's a safe haven. So to your point, it doesn't have to be the village all the time forever. I am also not opposed to having other game masters do this. Like, if you guys want to ride the coattails of stuff that I put down, and you're like, yeah, but I don't want to use Shadowdark. Great, fine. And I don't even, like, I wouldn't give you the map and say, hey, you can have this corner, because your corner could be virtually 500 miles away, 60 miles away, whatever that is, wouldn't matter. So, Gabe, if you wanted to run Swords and Wizardry and sprinkled throughout and hop on the bandwagon and put up things, like, I think there's a place where game masters can, like, I could help. I could add them into my Notion. I could show you how to create little missions. I could show you how to use Seshbot. It's not hard. And then if people want to sign up for those sessions to play, and we track all that, and sometime they might overlap or mix, totally down for that. Like, I don't have to have it be my world and a player's world necessarily. I could have multiple GMs, and it could be different systems for all I care. Maybe characters can travel to nearby towns for new bases. Yeah, I'm not opposed to that. Not opposed. The thing I'm getting kind of hung up on, especially with the map, is scale. Like, well, how far away should that be? Should it be a lot further than it is? I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to establish forts in the wilderness for sure. Michael, extreme. Good to see you, Michael. Yeah, West Marches can become a sort of points of light thing. Safe havens can be discovered, for sure. Stay with the community you've uncovered. Yeah. New quests from there. So to Harrigan's point, I'm starting out all human. So people are like, oh. Nobody has gone, all human, what? No, it hasn't been that way yet. But everybody seems down. Most of the people that are like, yep, I'm signing up for it. See, that's the thing. If they sign up for it, they know it's all human. If they don't want to do that, then they won't sign up, and it's not a big deal. And I don't get them. Harumph. I will tell you this. Other races, ancestries is what they're called in Shadowdark, will be unlocked. So I have to find ways to unlock them as a player. So guess what? When you come across the dwarves or the elves or the goblins or whatever, yeah, no problem. Because then it's like, okay. But everybody starts out human. Yeah. Time must be like reviewing this from when it started. Hermes, there you go, Sean. Said, who's documenting this? Perfect. Thanks for being voluntold, Hoos. The GM needs to do it. The players can, if they want to, leverage that info in the future or pass it on. Yes. No. The players can, if they want to, leverage that info in the future or pass it on. You're talking about like the info they uncover. Everything's open, no secrets. No secrets. This is the way I picture it. Adventuring party comes back. Even if everybody says, shh, don't say what we ran into. Don't tell them about the big treasure hoard back there. Shh. And everybody goes, okay, shh. One of those knuckleheads is going to say something. So I just take that and tell somebody. And now it's like, whoop. Now I could say it's a rumor. Hell, I could even make it up. And then they go there and there's nothing there. Or, see you, Tyler. Oh, I'm just right at the mark. So I'm going to wrap this sucker up too. Thanks, Tyler. You could have some safe havens, like if the keep is found to be abandoned, to be a stopping point, but not a place where you can shop, sell, heal. Oh, for sure. for sure. I agree. Yes. Village, because in the village, there's going to be, like I said in the rules, in the village, you can buy anything in Shadowdark. Equipment list. No problem. It's there. You got the gold to buy it. It's there. Boom. You go to I even have it on my list to name the inn or the shopkeeper, the blacksmith. You go there. Yeah, great. Boom. Got a great sword. Fantastic. But yeah, when you're out at the stronghold, keep, tent, another town may not even have that yet. Completely. Even a sage that may be able to give you things, if you come back, they may help out identifying items, things of that nature. If you don't identify them out and about, oot and a boot. So yes, good stuff, Harrigan. Gabe, if I ran S&W, I'd be poaching Jim from your game. It doesn't matter. Poaching. Dude, don't look at it that way. People are going to, no love loss. If people don't, they play my game once and they're like, that guy is out of his mind, dude, and they don't play again, that's fine. That's fine. It's what its per point is. So if Jim runs the S&W, he may actually run. I thought he was kind of interested. I don't know. Should be the same system so characters can float back and forth, and I'll totally run some. I mean, it would be nice, but I don't, if the game master's like, well, I want to have fun too, and I don't want to run Shadowdark because I don't know the rules that well. I mean, it would have to have a person go, I'm good with making, 2 people for that person's corner of the world and 2 people for Sean's, and this one's S&W and this one's Shadowdark. It'd be nice if it was all Shadowdark, but I don't know. I don't think Shadowdark's a bad game. I don't think it's terrible, right? I kind of think it's kind of a good, happy medium for many. And it's a world that has multiple physics represented by multiple systems. Yeah. Well, that's true, I guess. I don't know. All humans. All humans. It's all humans, and I'll work in the games I play to keep those communities hidden, Gabe. We'll see. Hey, I got things in my brain. I also want to, on a side note, patrons. Hey, if you're a patron and you're speaking of which, if you're a patron, I'll get to you. Whoops. One of the things I want to do is, if you're a patron, giving you something. And I think one of the things I had to come up with is if you're a patron at this level, you get a free reroll during a session. If you're a patron at this level, you get a plus 1 on 1 roll per session. Something a little minor, a little tweak, a little thank you for being a patron. I don't think that's bad. See, I got some things going on in my brain. It's a dangerous place, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, you were talking about session note-taking. Got it. Yeah. Yes. I definitely have to take notes for sure. I'm hoping that if a player were to take notes and they posted it here, and I guess I could do this. If there's nobody in the party that takes notes and posts them, I can do a player-facing version and then my version of notes, of course, so I can keep track of what's going on at any given time, and see how that dynamic works. I might skew the player notes, exaggerate them, right, etc. Make it a rumor. It's probably true. Yes, they did go there. I talked to a few people. I talked to player characters. I know they went there. They said it wasn't much. Whatever. So behind, dude. Cannot buy axes in town because Shadowdark lacks hand throwing and battle axes. Oh, we have to fix that then. The blacksmith's name is Tony. It's a general store run by a guy named Tony. The sage who identifies magic items, Tony, the sage. Hey, I put a post on Patreon. If you are at this level and you want to name something in the campaign or you want to contribute something to the campaign, here, go. Yeah, people could still sign up. You can sign up whenever. Like it's... I wonder if I can find the site that I have the sign up. If I had the Discord open for... Actually, let me get up Notion up here. It's a newsletter sign up, which will get me the info. But it's really... Let's see, I think... I should watch me. I have all this info and I don't have the sign up in the Notion, but I have it on Discord. I should probably first thing here, sign up. Yep. Resources. Nope. Draft, character creation. I don't have the link to the freaking... Wait a minute. Hold on. Yes, I do. I promise I'm going to be wrapping up here in a second. I promise. I'm on the end here. I'm on the verge. I thought I bookmarked it. Did I not bookmark it? Where is it? No. Unbelievable. Let me find the form. I'll put it in the chat. Such a doofus. I gotta get my phone. So the beauty is you can play whenever. Is it too late to start? I don't know. I guess for maybe session 1. Bob. Are you in the chat, Bob? He's probably under a pseudonym. All right, let me see if I can. Bear with me. Because I want people, I want to know who is interested and keep them up to date. I need to get an email out today to kind of give an update to everybody on what's going on. So if you're, because that way it doesn't matter if you're on the Discord or not. Boom, 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 boom. Here it is. All right, here we go. Found it. Put it in the chat. Bob's got to be Doc Flamingo. He probably is. So Bob is somebody I played with a long time ago. It's been a long time. I don't know if you're there, Bob, but regardless, it was a long time ago. Jeez. 10 years, maybe? Giga Tony. Shadowdark lacks hand throwing and battle axes. See Sean's suck it rule. I've run Shadowdark and it's pretty cool. Good. It's just not it's just not Aquanet up there. All right. No ducks. Okay. Duck hunting, rabbit season, duck season, pillows. I did not get the newsletters. I haven't sent one out. I've sent one out, maybe. Depends on when you subscribed. I think I have a couple triggers on MailChimp. Got to pay for it. I think it ends in 2 months by trial. But if you sign up, then you'll get hey, thanks for signing up, email. You can do all they sign up, you send them a trigger email. I'm not getting too crazy. Anyways. Make sure you signed up, Ty. I did not use the same email list for BS or Con or Gaming and BS. Completely fresh, completely new, only opting in to this campaign. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this sucker up, but I wanted to run it by you. Good talk. I know this stream's going to turn into Wes March's talk. Not the whole thing, but at least a portion of it. And of course, that's not what I'm looking for. So anyways, thanks to these folks for helping me out and being part of the Patreon. There's a link down below if you'd like to become a member. You can become a member of Patreon for free. So you don't have to pay me, and you get access to some of the posts, and I can put them out to patrons only, even ones that aren't contributing monetarily. So just something to be aware of. I'm trying to make sure, like, I'm posting to Discord and I'm emailing and I post on Patreon. Whatever. Just want to make sure everybody gets the info they need where they prefer it. But anyways, thank you for everybody that supported me over all this time. Thank you for showing up today. I really appreciate you. Without you, I wouldn't be able to do this West Marches game. I wouldn't be able to stream here every week, et cetera, et cetera. So I stream here every Saturday, 8 a.m. Central Time. Shrinking it by 15 minutes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. Anyways, just became a member. There you go, Shambot. Thanks. So yes, be a positive force in the tabletop RPG hobby. Spend time with people you love. Take some time for yourself. Keep on gaming. And we'll see you next weekend. And join the Discord. See ya.